Good morning, everyone. I missed you so much. Pretty top, Dara. Really beautiful. Hi, Casey. How's the house?
I will be only probably to stay for a little bit because we are going to hopefully get our final inspection this morning.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yay,
So
that's awesome. How exciting. And I saw like there were storms or fires. What was it that was happening out there?
yeah, there's fires out here. It's wildfire season. We were never in real imminent danger, but there was one north of us that was kind of concerning, probably because of the smoke that drifts this way. And down in the valley, apparently there's some other ones. The ones we did get rain like a week and a half ago, but the problem was it came with some lightning, and the lightning will touch, especially if it comes at the beginning of a storm, will touch off the the wildfires. So, and there's one actually down now in Black Canyon City where we were staying when we first got to Arizona in our RV. So I was like, wow, that one's kind of close to where we were, and we would have had they have a ready, set, go. So ready, you're supposed to get everything ready. Set, you have to be like ready to walk out the door as soon as they put the evacuation order in. And so it was, yeah. So that one you could see from the highway. We had to go down to Phoenix, and we drove. There's a place, a pull-out, rest stop at Sunset Point, and you could see the fire. You could see the edge of the fire and the area that had burned already. It was really weird. Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds terrifying. I learned something new about fires yesterday from Megan. She's working in this barn, taking care of horses this summer. And the other day, the lady had them cleaning cobbing, they call it, like getting all the cobwebs out. And so Megan hates spiders, and like spiders were crawling all over her, and there were spiders everywhere. And finally, the lady says to Megan, we don't do this just for cosmetics. It's actually a fire hazard. Spider webs are really a big fire hazard and like one of the leading causes of barn fires.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So you got to get those webs out of the way, ladies. Good morning, Lynn. I missed you.
Oh, we missed you too.
It was a lonely week without y'all.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you got some time to enjoy.
Yeah. And it was so strange not having to be on Zoom.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah. So let's take a minute and just make sure everybody's doing good, and then we'll play with this bobbin work. I already started this morning. It is fun. You definitely get different results with it. That's for sure. Okay, let's see. How are you been, Joanne?
I've been doing good. Certainly missed you.
Oh, and I really did miss you guys. A year is a long time to spend with people almost every day.
Yes.
Yeah, good. How's the summer coming along for you there, Joanne? Are you guys experiencing like this crazy weather and fires and heat?
We don't get the fires. We were getting like really hot weather. It was like 104 for a few days.
Whoa.
Yeah. And then the rain came in, and now it's muggy, and just that awful mugginess, and we've had thunder showers the last 2 nights, and so I don't know what it's going to do next. But
And then
some of it's typical.
yeah, we had the bad heat here, but then I understand there was a hurricane for you guys down in Florida. How'd you do, Lynn? Oh, you're muted.
It was basically a tropical storm. We were lucky it hit the West Coast a little bit more than us. But our friends that live in Fort Myers said that they got a lot of rain, but very little wind. So that was a blessing. I didn't really see much on TV about damage. And here on the East Coast, we did really well. I'm so grateful. It seems early in the season to have all that problem, but yeah. So I didn't hear about too much damage. So
I
And
just have one quick question. Are those your new doors?
yeah, I was gonna say, I thought you were in a new room.
I'm
Oh,
not. I'm in the same room.
That's incredible difference.
Oh, the
wow.
whole room looks like a real, wait a minute, like a real
Boy, they're
house.
beautiful. Oh my
They're
goodness,
nice.
those are nice.
Wow.
And that's a mirror, Lynn, in the middle?
Yeah, I thought it'd be a really good idea when I try on clothes. I brought the mirror downstairs from my, you can see it's so bright in here. My closet. I had a big mirror that you keep your jewelry behind, and it was
Mhm.
kind of hard to. The sun is reflecting in all of this. Maybe this angle, but the whole room looks like a whole new place.
It's crazy. And that was worth the wait. Those are really
Oh, I
stylish.
don't know about that.
Oh, you don't like them?
Oh, I love them, but I think the weight thing is totally unacceptable.
Oh, they're just so nice though. They're perfect
Yeah.
for that.
And then I had the milk glass painted on the inside, so you can't really see through it. It just looks like milk glass because I didn't want all my messy to show through. And I
Mhm.
didn't want a solid color, so they just paint the inside of the milk glass.
Very,
Nice.
very nice.
So that's a good thing. And now we're going to put them in our pantry. Our pantry still doesn't have any doors. So we'll get there.
Wonderful. Did you ever finish your dress that you had
Yes, and
the,
I think I have it upstairs actually. But it looks like an old lady. The fabric just, let me see if I have it up here now. Yeah, this one I finished.
oh, that's
So cute.
beautiful.
It's cute.
And that was my muslin, and I wore that. But the other one I did in the black and white when I with the little black tabs and the little black neck. When I finished it, I put it on. And I don't know, it looked like a nightgown. I should have brought. I'll bring it down next time. You guys could tell me that the fabric did nothing for me. You know, it just
Mhm.
wasn't a good idea. I mean, you want stuff to make you look better, not. It drug me down.
Oh, darn. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it happens. You know, it looked really good, the fabric, but then when you put it in the dress and put it on your body, it's like, I don't think this is me.
Mm.
So I'm starting a new one. Oh, how do I do this? Oh, yeah, I can't see myself, so I can't. Anyway, I'm starting this black and white one.
We can't see it. Yeah, you'll have to
Oh,
bring it down. There you go. Oh, that's cool material.
yeah, so I'm doing that with these. They're not called patch pockets. They're I'll fold it up. I'm copying this one, and I can't find it anywhere in my sewing books. So I was hoping one of the experts could tell me. There's only one pocket. It goes in the side seam, and it's sewn. See, it's real invisible here. I've got to see myself. Let me view. Stupid. That should be me, but it isn't. It's Suzette. I'll go view.
Huh, you're highlighted on my screen, but I can make
Oh
you
well.
big. Here you go, Lynn. Then can you
Oh,
see yourself now?
yes, I can see myself too much. So here's the side seam, and this is the pocket.
Yeah.
Oh,
And there's only one half of a pocket, and then they stitch it down on the top.
Yeah.
So it's really, I don't know what the name of, but it's wonderful because it doesn't flap inwards. You know, it just stays put where it belongs. And it doesn't add any bulk. So I went through my sewing books and I couldn't find it anywhere. So I started just trying to copy from what I saw on the inside here, but it's so confusing. And then of course I got this jersey-ish kind of stuff and I went to sew it down and it's slipping all over the place.
mm.
So Faye said maybe put some of the schema seam stuff, which I'm going to use Sophie's, and then iron it on and then maybe you could stitch around it.
Mhm.
I
And-
do that all the time to my pockets
Oh,
because
you
it
did?
takes, yeah, it takes away bulk. So
Yeah, a lot.
all you have to do is figure out how to finish the edge of your front facing fabric. And you can either do that with a facing or you can do that by turning under, like a cut on facing where you would just add a little extra and then turn it under.
Okay.
But as far as holding it stable to stitch it, I serge that outside edge, which gives the outside edge a little bit more stability. And then I just sandwich them together and make sure I have the placement right so it's fine. And then I just pin from the front face, kind of like perpendicular to the stitching line. And then I just put my sewing machine foot along there where I can kind of feel the ridge underneath.
Yes,
And
because that helps you find it.
yeah, the serged edge helps you find that ridge. Then it gives you like a little ridge that you can feel through your layers. And then I just top stitch it. And even on a knit, I have not had any trouble using just a straight stitch. Just
Really?
lengthen the stitch a little bit. Because
Mhm.
that's not, if it's not going across your whole body, it's not going to stretch when you put it over your head or
Sure.
anything like that. That's how they do ready to wear, and I do it all the time. And it's so much better. None of that.
Do you know the name, what they call this pocket?
No idea. I have no idea. I've never seen the name for
They're called inseam pockets.
Inseam. I like that
Inseam?
term.
it. Okay.
Inseam pockets. In fact, I have a Seamwork has a post on it from 2017, but
You are so good with the indexing, Joanne. You like remember the
Yes.
dates and everything.
Yes.
that's what I do. I'm a researcher in a way.
You really are. And a cataloger, like a librarian of sewing.
I always wanted to be a librarian.
Cool.
I'll
Well,
put
this
it
is
in
a
the
great
chat.
pocket.
So
Yeah, thank you. I just love the fact that it doesn't add any bulk. Not that I have hips, but I didn't want the width regardless. So
And
I'm,
you
I'm
can
really happy.
put it, you can do it on pants, on jackets, on tops, anything. You just have to, if sometimes you make them so there's like a little bit of an inset so that you need to use the same fashion fabric, at least at the edge for that pocket, because that part
Right.
might show.
Show.
But if you want to reduce even more bulk, you can just use your fashion fabric for like the first inch of it and then do a nice seamed edge with some lining and just have that inside part be lining. This is my favorite kind of pocket. I do it all the time.
Oh, gosh, I love it too. And now that I have to take my phone everywhere, where do you put it? If you build a dress that doesn't have a pocket, you don't wear the dress.
The only issue with it is you absolutely see top stitching. There's no way to
Yes.
do this kind of pocket without top stitching, unless you need those like long skinny facings that attach at waistbands and stuff. I don't want to do any of that. I want to make it simpler.
Yeah, I don't mind. Like this fabric, who cares? You're not going to notice the top
You won't know.
stitching.
Yeah.
It's going to be fine. And that fabric, that's a ready to wear, but my goodness, you can't see it at all.
And
So
I
thank
love
you.
that fabric. Where'd you find that at?
My stash. I'm in a stash
Uh-huh.
buster mode.
Yeah, busta mode. Oh, that's wonderful.
I don't really want to buy anything till I empty that cupboard a little bit.
I'm
Okay.
doing the same thing.
Yeah.
I've shamed myself into not buying any more fabric.
Good.
You do have a lot, Dara.
Especially, that black and white one I said didn't look good on me. It had rust stains from the pins in it. And
Oh.
that's the one that messed up my machine. I just think the fabric is dead.
Mhm.
So I think we do need to get rid of some of our stuff.
Okay. Let me give, Casey has to leave because they're gonna
Uh-oh.
head up to the house, but let me give her just a second to say hi to everybody before
Yeah.
she has to boogie.
Hi. Needless to say, I haven't done a whole lot of sewing because I had to pack everything up. But I'm hoping to get a certificate of occupancy today and move
Yay.
things in. We can't move too many things in because there's going to be a crew that comes in and just cleans the whole house to get all the construction dust out. So I have to, but that's Saturday morning. So hopefully by Monday, we'll have a few things in place and I can
Be life in front of the house.
yeah, we'll be at the house. There will be no, tour yet because it's going to be just basically bare bones and boxes. So
Okay.
but I should be ready for the July, what was it, 26th?
Yeah, like I feel like it's near the 29th. It's a Thursday, the last Thursday in July.
29th.
Yeah. So it won't be completely set up, but at least I'll be in the room and on, folding tables, and maybe we can discuss where I should do what.
Yeah. Oh,
I can't
that's
Wait to see it,
wonderful.
Casey. I can't wait to see it.
I know.
So cool.
It's so fun that we got to go through this process with you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Very
Cool.
excited.
Will you guys have a blast up there in these last few days?
We've been working really hard. We've been up every day doing stuff at the house. Yesterday we were picking up the ram board, that stuff they put down to protect the floor.
Yeah.
We're picking that up in the house and trying to clean up some of the dust so that the inspector thinks, oh, this is a real house.
Mhm.
We don't have our cupboard doors or drawers yet, but apparently those are not required for a certificate of occupancy.
Oh, really?
Yes, they look at safety things. They want to make sure that you have a functioning toilet, a functioning sink, something that you can cook on, and that there are no trip or fall hazards. Is basically what they're looking for. So, which is good for us because with the pandemic, a few things got, schedules got slipped. So,
How's the fires doing near you?
When we had the second rain, pretty much got the Raphael fire under control. It's like at 90%, which means that there's just the little hot spots within it, and really no danger of it flaring up again. There's another one south of us, but I don't think that's not going too far too fast. So hopefully that one we'll get rain. I'm hoping we'll get rain again by the end of the week, but or beginning of next week. So because it is monsoon season, and so they said another monsoon was going to be building next week, which means we should get dumped on by rain at least once next week. So yeah, I keep thinking, where have I moved to? But most of the time where we are, it's just lovely. The weather's perfect, and so I guess it'll be okay. Yeah.
You'll do great.
Yeah. So
All right, guys.
thanks.
Well, good luck with the inspection.
Yes.
Yes, yes, maybe you need some extra $100 bills in your pocket.
It doesn't hurt.
Well, the guy that's doing the inspections, and doing the inspections now, he seems pretty reasonable. He's been giving us a little, tip here and there of what needs to be done. So, hopefully we'll be okay.
Yeah.
Because it's Friday.
Casey, now you're so experienced, maybe like from now on you can be a construction manager and manage the construction.
I think what I could do was help the homeowner manage their expectations.
Oh, yeah.
Because there's a lot of, you have this design in your head, it gets on paper, the architect does their thing, but then there's reality and physics. And it's like, no, you really can't do that. And so how do you get over your disappointment of, no, you can't do that?
Hey, Casey,
My
Yeah.
whole house is doing that.
is this is what you're making, is it the home that you're building, is it considered a custom built home?
Yes, yeah.
That
I
is,
created the general floor, I created the plan
yeah.
and handed it over to a building designer and said, this is the kind of spaces I want. Now you tell me whether it's buildable. Can you do this and stuff? So
Yeah, I think what you're talking about is a really, actually, it's a really good idea because ours was custom built also, and it doesn't always turn out to be the way you want it to be because they don't see something that on the draft, they don't maybe interpret it the same way. And it's not all custom.
And out here, everything has to be engineered. All the trusses have to be engineered. You can't just like stick build something. And so it was the engineering plan went through once, got approved. And then somebody said, oh no, we don't like the math on that. And they beefed it up, but they didn't tell the framers or the builder. So suddenly we have this huge beam that's going through the middle of the basement and brings the ceiling height down to 6'2". My house is 6 feet tall.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
So fortunately, we had a really good building crew and a really good builder, and they engineered something so that beam could go in there and still, you could still walk under it. They raised the beam a little bit, but
Oh, all
things
these
like that.
issues.
And at that point you're stuck. The beam's there, the house is half built, and you're just like,
Oh,
okay, that beam's got to go in, otherwise the whole project stops. So
yeah.
yeah.
That's
A
one
lot.
of those things.
Yeah, I would not do well with my patients on that kind of stuff when people don't tell somebody else. That
Oh, it
just,
happens all the time.
yeah,
and-
that
oh,
would just,
Yeah, it was, but so fortunately, everything I really, 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 really wanted is there. And there's a
Good.
few things that are kind of like I had to give on, but it's like, most of the things I really wanted are there. So I'm happy. So.
Good, 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 good.
All right, you're never gonna get onto your other things if we don't get moving, so.
Okay, okay.
Not from me.
Let's bop over to Gay. Gay, how is everybody doing at your place?
We're doing good.
Good. And your room looks like you've been there forever now.
It's getting there. It's getting there.
You got-
My rulers are hanging now. Finally got those put up. My son hung a TV in the room so that I can watch TV as I'm sewing. I've finished the 5 first responder quilts. They're all done. They're in a pile. They got washed yesterday and line dried. So now they just have to be labeled, put labels in and wrapped and presented.
Gosh, bravo to you. That's such an awesome gift for them. And they have been through it.
Yep. Yep.
Did you take a picture when they were all on the line?
I did. I
Oh,
did.
Yeah, can we see? I don't know if the phone will pick it up or the screen will pick it up, but what a cool
It
picture.
will. I'm pretty sure it will. Let's see.
Look at that. Oh my God.
Holy moly.
Scoot it a little to the center.
Yeah.
Gay.
A little bit more, yeah, more in, no, up, up.
And up.
Yeah.
Okay, freeze.
Or maybe if I flip it this way.
Yeah, that's probably.
Oh,
Wow. What a
Beautiful.
sight.
yeah, that's kind of amazing.
Pretty amazing.
Yeah. So they're all done.
Wow.
I'm sure that feels good.
And then I brought back the quilt of honor that the quilt shop had given me, the quilt of valor. I did do that yesterday. I quilted that yesterday, and then I had to bring my Bernina in. It started acting really funny a couple days ago. So I said, well, if I get the quilt of valor, then I can make one trip. I'll bring the quilt of valor, I'll bring the sewing machine, all at the same trip. But that's the quilt shop that had the organ in the church, and she has downsized. She's just doing machine repairs, machine sales, and long wide back fabric. She's carrying no other fabrics anymore, but she is carrying a boatload of different threads for embroidery and quilting, and then all the accessories for the machines. But she's getting
going
even
crazy. She's really, yeah, she's just still over.
It's very overwhelming.
Too much, overwhelming. Yes, it's been over a month and a half and I still don't have my sewing machine back yet. So just beware, it's taken a long time for her to fix those machines.
Well,
She does it herself? She does the
whoever's doing it, she does it, but yes, but I keep calling her and she never calls me back. And so just beware, you might not get that Bernina back for a while.
So I have my Husqvarna, so I mean, I'm fine, but I'll tell you, I like the way my Bernina sews for accuracy on quilt squares. The Husqvarna, I did a couple of the bindings with the Husqvarna, and it doesn't want to stay that true 1/4 of an inch. It wants to float a little bit more. And it's like, no wonder I have to say the last few years with the Bernina since I've had the Bernina, my squares have squared up much better. The accuracy is so much more. So it's like, now I got to go back to the Husqvarna. I don't think I'm going to do much quilting. I have a wedding in August, and I decided to give the couple a very modern quilt that I had done. It's, I'm sure you saw, it's this one here.
Oh, that's fun.
Pretty.
Wow.
Oh, pretty.
So that's a 90 by 90. So, I'm going to put it on the long arm, but I think it really needs free motion. It can't handle an edge to edge. It isn't blocks. So all of those little pieces, I think, are just going to be maybe using a little rulers and just hand guiding my machine through all the stitching of that quilt. But it's going to take me a while. I've got a month to do it, so we'll see.
Will you just leave it up there on the rack and just come back?
Yeah,
to
you can't,
it
once
as
you start, I don't move it. I won't move it. Some people will take it off and reposition it, but I don't free float my machine, which they don't use their rails. They literally only attach it to the top, and everything else just kind of floats. They don't pin it. They just kind of base the whole thing, and then just work from there. But I have never done that, so I will probably use all my rails and
That's what
do
I
it all
do.
down.
That's what I do. I float my tops all the time.
You float your tops?
And for the borders, for the borders, I'll do top and bottom and finish the whole from top to down. And for the sides, I didn't learn the mechanism of designing the sides yet. So I'll take off the quilt from the machine and then rearrange it in a horizontal way again and do the horizontal borders. So that's how I do it.
Well, I might have to do that for the side borders. That's a good idea. After it's all done, just reposition it after it's all done. But I think
use the zippers, so it's easy for me to just position it on the machine because I use those king size zippers to zip it to the leaders and enders,
Oh, I don't know about those.
Oh, I don't pin it because if you pin it, you have to stand there and pin the, your top to the railing fabric. But I have a zipper stitch it to both the fabrics on the rails. So the zipper will be on the.
You based it to the quilt, the zipper? And then the other leader has the other half of the zipper? Oh.
Clever, Usha. Did you think of that yourself or someone teach you that?
No, that's how I got taught.
Wow.
In my quilting studio. Yeah.
Nice.
Huh.
A good idea.
I know like a couple of videos, they put it out there for us after the certification course because you need little bit of thinking like how the zippers should be placed on the fabric because on the top or on the little bit placement you need to put it there. But I know she put a YouTube video on that because a couple of times I watched it initially, but now I don't. I'll find out and put the link for you, Dave. So, you can sit in your chair, you can baste it, that zipper second half to your top and go to your longer machine and then zip it.
Huh, okay. That sounds like it's easier than me pinning, but.
Yeah, you have to bend or stand and pin it long time and all that.
It might take me, yesterday's quilt was what? It was like 80 by 70. And I think it took me to put all three pieces to layer it and put it on the frame. I think it took me about 25 minutes.
Yeah, I take a long time on that because that is the reason why I'm using this method. For me, I have to do it a couple of times to make it straight and make it, aligned and everything. If you don't put properly, then you pay that at the end of the finishing of the quilt. It will go this way or this way or like.
Well, I always put that straight horizontal when I put my backing and my batting in. I put that straight horizontal line. and then I bring my quilt top and I pin that about 3 inches from the top. I pin it, and then I do my first base there so that I know everything is totally straight at the top. And
Yeah, top anyway, you have to pin it, but I was talking about the zipper method for the backing.
But I mean, it doesn't take me long to seem to get them pretty straight, but do you do ruler work? Yeah.
If I touch that machine, yes. For me, all the sewing and quilting is on a halt for a while, so trying to adjust my life. So that's why I'm not doing much. But otherwise, once I go there, then it's an addiction. I just go there. I have to just, make myself to go there again into that room. Yeah.
I just know, I know I've got to stop because there's a lot of piecing, a lot of all the different pieces have to be, I think they have to be addressed individually. I don't think I can do anything else to that quilt to make it look good. So I'll have to get creative.
That'd be a fun project for you though, Gay. Well, especially while you're waiting on your machine. Then you can just take your time. Nothing else to be calling you.
Right.
Until you get that back. Okay. I'm so happy everybody's doing good and you're in your space and settled. Casey's getting her house. Suzette also weathered a hurricane. Did you do okay? Did your mama do okay?
We had nothing really.
Wow, good.
Yeah, it was like just a normal everyday rainstorm.
Okay, good. And you're on the same coast as Lynn or opposite?
Opposite.
Opposite. Okay, I think you're on the same coast as my mom, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she said they did okay too.
Suzette put everybody to work and she rested and nothing happened.
How is your back?
My back is a little stiff. It's not doing well today, but
okay. Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay. I'm getting along.
Okay. Oh, that's a bummer. Okay, how about you, Dara? Have you been whipping up a bunch of beautiful stuff I missed?
Not really.
Oh, good. I'm so glad. I should have told you, don't sew anything until I get back.
I didn't sew anything exciting.
See, that was my wish too, Andreas, when you are like, putting the tutorial by tutorial and project by project. Oh my God, Andrea, please take break. I cannot catch you up.
What's the last thing you made, Dara?
I've been making night shirts.
Oh, really? You're taking one from Doreen's playbook.
Yeah. I used all my, I had all these like pretty pastel lightweight fabrics from Walmart, and I was cleaning up my stash, and it's just the right fabric, exactly like my favorite night shirt that was nasty and needed to be thrown away. And I cut it up and made a pattern, and so far I've made 5 of them, and I'm like, I'm so happy. This is like the best sewing I've done in years. Like,
what is night shirt?
You sleep in it. You sleep in it.
So is it like longer shirt?
It's like oversized t-shirt style is what I wear. And
okay.
I just like the fabric to be really soft and no tags. And I'm like, oh, I'm so dumb. Instead of like trying to find this to buy, here I have all this fabric. So I made 5 and I cleaned out the crap in my drawer, which also makes me feel good. There's no ugly stuff to put on at bedtime. That's all bedraggled.
Draggled. That's like a little bit of a dragon and a what?
What's the real word? I don't know now that I said it, but
it's a sewing word.
Is it?
Draggled.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, well, that's really fun. I love that you're doing that. I'm super picky about what I sleep into. Like, man, that fabric better be soft.
Yes.
Yep.
Target has this
what kind of
line.
fabric is it, Dara?
It's like a rayon blend with spandex. So it's probably rayon and cotton and spandex, and it's really soft.
Yeah.
And when I originally got these night shirts, they were beautiful, and then over time, I mean, like maybe 5 years, they're like fuzzballed and ugly.
Right. But they're nice to begin with, but yeah, you can't overuse them. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I
Next time here.
I made lavender and gray and royal blue and navy blue and gray with stripes.
Ooh.
This weird stripy one that I had. Because the fabric was like totally inappropriate for any kind of clothing for me, because it's just like it lays against you. Like it would be obscene if I tried to make a top out of it and wear it out in public. It would just be too drapey, too thin, but perfect for night shirts.
Yay, that's awesome, awesome. Okay, let's see. Doreen, I have to tell you, I was uploading the video from Tuesday yesterday for Ramona, and I'm like, Doreen is dropping decades. You look even younger, doesn't she? Yeah, I was like, whoa, what is she doing? You're drinking from the fountain of youth over there somewhere.
I should ask people in my group that I was in with yesterday. They were talking with another woman, and she was just blunt. Well, how old do I look? I should have done the same thing.
Yeah.
Well, how old do I look?
And just find out, did you get different glasses? Is that it, maybe?
Oh, no.
Same
I mean, my
glasses.
hair is being done professionally, but my haircut is, as she put it, it's not necessarily styled beautifully. It's more, this is probably the last one to get all the frizz and crap out of the hair. So now we'll start styling it the way I want it to be styled. But so it's not styled that great. So I don't know where what you're looking at.
Andrea, I noticed it too on Tuesday, but I thought Doreen looks good on white. She was wearing the some white top and very elegant. She looks like a professionally coming to attend the meeting kind of thing. I thought so. I didn't say it out loud like Andrea, but I thought when I saw
Okay
on Tuesday.
Wow. I'm in the right group here today.
Wow. It's a really good color on you. It comes across really good on the computer. Like, you know how like everybody, you know what your good colors are, but then sometimes you wear things that aren't your good colors. Like,
okay, so is this a good color?
I think so, yeah.
So anything that's brighter. You saying that, or just what?
I don't know how, like you have to do a little research and figure out your colors. It's based on your eye color and your skin tone.
I know. I'm a spring. I'm a spring color.
And that's a spring color, so you look good in it. So
yeah. I gotta get the what I used to have like a long time ago, a little thing that with all the colors in it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I need to order one too that's small enough to put in my purse. That's not heavy, so I don't.
I order them online.
Is that the Color Me Beautiful, Lynn?
Yeah, but if you know you're a spring, you don't have to have somebody tell you, but you can go on to Amazon or somewhere online and buy a packet.
I like that.
Beauty for all seasons.
Beauty for all seasons.
That's still okay.
And I carry this in my handbag when I used to carry a handbag.
Well, it's very true. I think I've gotten away from that. I think I just simply look at the fabric and if I like it, I like it. But yeah, I got to get back to after all this that you guys are saying. I think I got to go back to the color chart and.
When I figure that out in my closet and just get rid of the stuff that looks dreadful, because it's just
I did that like a few decades ago. So yeah, I can that will be redone. Yep.
Yeah.
I hope I have clothes left.
Don't come naked. Gosh. What have you been sewing, Doreen? What have you been sewing?
Well, good, Dara, because this is what I'm making something like with this.
Hi, Gay. Have a good afternoon.
Bye.
Bye.
I had made a top to go with the skirt that the top was just awful. I think everybody kind of nodded like, yeah, that looks nice. It was awful. So I'm making a one out of this pattern that
What happened to the pink one on Tuesday you were wearing, but you didn't show it to us? And
Good
then
luck, Casey. We can't wait.
I don't know right now. I'll just talk on the one that, I'll get back to that one, Usha, because I don't remember right now, but I'm making the one here, it's, well, it's the gray on the gray one. I've made this one before. It's basically got, the line drawing is like that.
Oh, yeah, that's
And so
nice.
the one on the bottom is the one that tends to look really good on me because it just, that's the biggest part of me. And so where the biggest part, it kind of, you know, brings it in more like that. And so it doesn't look quite as big. So I've got, I think you guys might remember, it's because I like this skirt. So it's this skirt that I had quite a while ago. So I had that skirt, and then it has then this top underneath it with that. And so it's got those, can you see on the side, it's got.
Are they the ties? The draw, oh yeah,
ties.
those are cute.
Yeah, it's hard. Well, I could see now, it's hard to see everything on, forget it. I'll show it to you when I get it made. It's too hard. I can see now on the camera, it's just not showing. So I'll show it to you guys tomorrow afternoon.
what
Yay.
is the pattern, Doreen?
The pattern here is, it's a Berta, and it looks like 6415. That just happens to be a pattern that just works on me real well. I've got cut another ready to wear top that I bought a couple years ago that's just for some reason that works well on me. So yeah, I've worked with a number of things, but I'll show it to you guys tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good, Doreen. All right. And then how have you been, Usha? I missed you too.
Oh, we missed you, Andrea.
Last week, actually, Andrea, I was like almost wanted to, send a Zoom meeting link to the team. Hey, let's talk.
Oh no, guys. Oh no. Oh no.
And then I was thinking like, hey, why I feel this way? Sometimes I don't even come for the entire week, but I know you guys are meeting and I can go back and watch the recording and all. But when I know we have no meeting, you guys are not meeting at all, I started feeling so missing. And I was like, let me send some Zoom meeting.
Oh my gosh.
Whether
Oh,
elements, accept or not, let's have a private chat. That thought wildly came to my mind. But then, something else, I didn't send it to the girls, whoever it is. But that's how I felt last week. I know you needed that break time. I'm happy that you took the break. But we miss you. And actually, I miss the whole crew, seeing them, talking them, or you guys talk and listen to you guys. And some part is missing in the brain. That's what some feeling of it.
Yeah,
and then
everybody contributes a little piece to it. Yeah, it's a whole, not just one person. Yeah.
Yep. And then Suzette was texting me hey, the simplicity patterns were on a sale last day today. I was like, oh, okay, I want to go. And then suddenly, I don't know what I have. Otherwise, I go and pick the same pattern again. And I was at my cousin's place. So I came home. I rushed back home from them saying that, oh, I'm sleepy. I have to go. And then I came home and I took all the patterns, which I bought it recently with all these 99 cents brag about it. And then I laid them and ordered them. Then I saw I have 28 simplicity patterns unopened, just bought from Joann's. Nothing, didn't do anything with it. That made me a depressed mode. No, I'm not buying anymore. But
you've been working a lot lately, Usha. You've been doing so much work.
Yep.
That's hard.
So, but good thing was because of Suzette, I went and ordered all my patterns and made them sort out and put them in order. And then I took the all the pictures of it, what I have it, and created an album on my phone so that next time when I went for shopping, I know what I have it. So all that work, I did it. So that's all I did it because the weekend was, it's all family, everybody got the time, right? So everyone knows like, okay, come for dinner, come for lunch, let's go for watching the fireworks. So that's how all my weekend gone, but I couldn't meet up my next door neighbors, even though I got the 3 days off. So that made me so feel bad. And then yesterday I was like, hey guys, let's meet up. And then we all met for dinner at my backyard. That's how I am spending my time, just to, you know, get off from the stress which I got in the day or in my brain, at least for a couple of hours. And then
what about your son? Is he gone?
Oh, he left.
He left,
Yeah,
right?
he left after, like, you know, he spent good time with me, 3 weeks. I have no complaints, you know. So
Your son left and your ladies left.
Yep. And I made a quillo for him. I gave it to him. So that was a project which I putting off from November, never finished it, which is like a maybe 2-hour project. I finished it while I was talking to him. That was done. But still, I have one unfinished project, which Andrea knows very well, like one of the market bag, which I cut it and
Still waiting for you, patiently waiting.
And she always comes into like, how could you do that, Usha? How could you do that? Cut it and not finishing it up. You know, I can do it. This is how.
Not me,
But-
I have to finish. That
Yeah,
would
but-
drive me crazy.
Yep, it's bothering me too, but I'm just taking the botherization, but not doing the actual work. But I'll finish it this month, at least. I'll try.
Okay, well, you can be happy because you can see your ladies 3 days a week, no matter what. Is it Jean that just joined us? You're muted. Oh, let me ask you to unmute and see if that helps. Did you get an alert to unmute? There
Okay,
you go.
there. No, I actually, I have to tell you, by now I have a full head of steam. I signed up for this class. I got permission to, glad you joined the class. Here's the schedule, whatever. And I have not been able to find it listed in my events or even get to it. So this morning, and it's my time in Phoenix, it's 6:30 in the morning. So I finally went to an old message from Andrea and found it there. But
Oh,
yesterday they
gosh.
said, I even had technical people. Well, we're sorry, we have a problem. We'll try to work it out, but here's a temporary password to get in tomorrow morning. So I went to log in this morning, invalid password.
No, because I'm Andrea, so I've been writing with you. And I was
Okay,
happy to see your name pop
Well-
up. But is it Jean or
yes, it's Jean.
Jean?
No, I, no, so it's Jean, but yes, I just sent you a message. Yesterday I was online with May and with Kevin, who's technical. Oh,
and
I'm
he's
sorry, we can't
good.
fix the problem, but here's May gave me a temporary one. It didn't work. So I went back to your message from about 2 weeks ago and tried to get in that way, and that's how I got to you.
Well,
But
glad you made
it doesn't appear on my calendar, and also
How weird.
yeah, it won't appear on my calendar. And also, of course, there's a time difference. It is not Mountain Daylight Time, it's Mountain Time. But anyway, I thought it was supposed to be Bobbin Work this morning. Is that true?
Yes, and we were just catching up because I was on vacation, but we are going to be doing the Bobbin Work next.
Okay, good. So you haven't done it yet. Great. Because I
No,
said,
yeah.
I hope this class is recorded because I really wanted to see that part.
Yeah.
So, well, it's very nice to meet you.
You too, and I am glad you made it. And if we can, if there's a way for me to just send you the link and it makes your life easier, we could do that while they work out your password. I can't imagine what the problem is.
I probably changed the password at their request 4 times.
Wow.
And yeah, and then in the email, got that straightened out. And I got into Stitchers Collective until July. And then it won't go on forward from July. So it's just some major glitch. Anyway, I won't
Yeah.
occupy any rest of your time, but it's very, very frustrating.
Well, let us know where are you situated? We know you're on Pacific time, but are you in Arizona?
I'm in Arizona, and Arizona is mountain time. It's not mountain daylight time. And they are putting down all the schedule as mountain time. It's not, it's mountain daylight time. So the very first class in Stitcher's Collective, it was listed as 11:30 in the morning, and I logged on and I missed the whole class because it was 10:30. It's mountain time, not mountain daylight time. So they need to change the schedule. You know, they need to change
When I write things, I write MT. Is that correct?
it's MT for me, but it's not for you, depending on where you are.
I'm Eastern. Yeah. So
No.
I always put my time and then mountain
No,
time.
it's MDT.
Right now it is.
Yes, it's
Yeah, I
mountain
can't
daylight
put-
time. So that's why you listed this class at 7:30 in the morning. For me, it's 6:30.
Okay.
So
and
that's another reason I was torqued up. I got up for a 6:30 class and I couldn't get on. So
yeah.
But Jean, when you register, if you are registering on your computer, so the registration form will have a drop-down menu. So when you select that, you can select your own time. What is it? So that's how it register you. So in your email or in your calendar, when you store it or save it for your calendar, it saves at your local time.
well, actually, it doesn't because they have the time listed as mountain time. They have the class schedule listed as mountain time. All three of these classes I've signed up for are listed as mountain time, and they're really not. They're mountain daylight time. They should be listed as mountain daylight time because Arizona does not go on daylight savings time.
Golly. So
Except
they're just thinking, they're thinking from the Denver mindset, which
Right.
is where they are.
I know, but they're very close to me. They should know that Arizona doesn't go on daylight savings time. It's the only one in the country. And to complicate things further, there's a small spot on the Navajo reservation that does go on daylight savings time.
Oh,
So
geez.
I'm a retired nurse, and we used to have kids who would get up in one time zone and go to school in another. But that's all because all
That's wild.
right, all the rest of Arizona
You
is
going, Doreen? Bye-bye.
yeah, all the rest of Arizona is mountain time, not daylight time.
Oh.
So they need to be listed as mountain daylight time right now until winter.
Oh, wow. Okay, I'll mention it to Laura, but I don't control the master schedule, but
I've talked about that too.
yeah. Oh,
But that's the least of my worries because now that I know you do that, I'll just adjust for it.
okay.
So,
Yeah, but new
Yeah.
people have a problem. Can't you just list everything as Eastern or Pacific and then everybody can figure
Boy,
it out?
That would be really nice for me because it took me
Yeah.
forever to know what time to be here.
Right, I have the same problem, but you know, a lot of the websites just list Eastern time or Pacific time. They don't list anything else.
Which like doesn't do anything weird. We could just know
Right.
what time it
I,
is.
but you know, it's really weird considering that Phoenix is the 5th largest city in the country. You know, they should figure that in.
Yeah.
So
Oh my goodness. Okay.
Anyway,
Well,
okay, Bobbin Work.
I hope that they can fix it for you, but if you need direct links, just continue emailing me and I'll send them to you and then you can just click and be here.
Okay, that's great. That's great.
Because I don't
Maybe-
want you to miss out. But we just have one more person to say hi to and then we're going to get started. We all missed each other. I was gone all last week. And so we had to make sure what was happening with all the weathers and hurricanes and fires and all that stuff that's been going on. How are you doing, Miss Sally? Did you get to the doctor? Are you feeling better?
Oh yeah, I'm doing good. Miss everybody.
Yeah, I missed everybody too, a lot.
Your
It's
hair
good
looks
to see you.
blonde.
Yeah, I went to my hair guy and he made it a little blonder.
Oh yeah, I like it.
That's what the girl said too. It's almost as light as mine, Mom. I'm like, is it too light?
Oh, I like it.
Looks
Thank
good for your coloring.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I just let him do what he wants. I figure, that'd be like if somebody came into your sewing room and told you how to sew your shirt, you'd be like, he's the hairdresser. I just let him do what he wants.
That's a good analogy. Yeah.
Hey, Jean,
Yeah.
don't, I just checked it. They have listed your time zone as Arizona. So you
Oh.
have to pick Arizona.
Okay, that's new then, because I just talked to him yesterday and they were gonna work on that, so
Good.
hopefully, yeah,
I'm glad they did that.
Yeah.
then.
yeah.
Yeah, because that could be frustrating as heck. Okay, so raise your hand if you've ever done bobbin work of any sort.
I have done
Yeah,
some.
you,
Yeah,
Jean? Dara? Did I see Dara's go up? And Lynn. Okay, so this was my first attempt at it this morning. I posted a video that was pretty good by a thread company on how to do it. And so what I decided, which I would recommend for anybody who'd never tried it, if you have a spare machine that's like not your favorite machine, I would do this kind of work on that machine so you don't mess up your tension, because we'll probably all be hating life if we mess up our bobbin tension on that. So I have lots of extra machines. Do you have an extra machine, Suzette, that you don't love as much? When you do this, I would work on that.
The other thing they suggest too is to buy a separate bobbin
Mhm, I
just
saw
for
that.
this kind of work.
But
I do.
not the bobbin case.
The case, right, the
Yeah.
case, right.
Yeah.
So you can adjust the tension just for that.
Yeah.
But top loading doesn't have a bobbin case, right? So what do you do?
No, it does. Yeah, they all do.
Well, for example, FOF creates its own special bobbin case for the FOF machine to do this.
Oh, cool.
But the top
Yeah, and
loading,
my machine is still at the store, so I can't do it yet because
Yeah,
I have the case. I've had it for a long time, and
Right.
it just. But they create their own.
Joanne,
Yep,
like, are
I
you
got it.
talking about the top loading bobbin has a case?
They have a separate case that you can, when you want to do everything, you can stick that in instead.
You have to take your needle plate off and then you
Right.
can pull it out.
Right.
right.
Just like when you're cleaning, you take everything apart. You would
But
put this in instead.
But I didn't have any problem even with the, pearl cotton, which has a 6 strings on it. So I winded it on the bobbin and pulled it out. It worked okay with my single machine.
Good. Yeah, if it works with yours, that's awesome. I was just so afraid to mess up the Juki and then not be happy with my stitches. So I'm just doing it on my Janome Magnolia, which I don't like to sew regular on. So I just wanted to put that out there so we don't mess up anyone's machines. So I selected linen for mine. It was like that linen blend, and I put that light 808 or 809 on the back just to be sure. And then I was just dying to try the embroidery floss, even though everybody said I couldn't do it. That's what I really wanted. So I hand wound the bobbin, and this was I'm going to make this bigger so you guys can see. These were the very first stitches with that. So this top one was just straight stitch with translucent thread, because they said if you don't want to see, the top stitching, right? Because you can, so the more I played with the tension and the stitch length, the different look I got. So that little uptick there, which to me looks like hand sewing, right? What would this be? Blanket stitch?
Yeah.
That was with, well, the thread's actually in the machine now, but it's my standard color thread that I don't deviate from. And then the embroidery floss, which whoever works with embroidery floss, this one is not separating really nice. So it seems to be twisted. This one worked out. Is there a name for this kind, Usha?
That's called pearl cotton, right?
Well,
it's on
like you would stitch with it with a needle for sure.
Yeah. It's on like a small round bundle. It's not, right?
Yeah, and so it worked good for me. It's twisted kind of around itself, and
normally we use that for the crocheting, the lace kind of thing, that thread.
Oh, okay. Well, it's still very thin like the embroidery, but it doesn't separate like this does.
But I used the one which you just showed it on your left hand. I used the 6
You did, and it works, and you used all 6. Okay,
Yeah.
so I'm going to try that too and see what happens. So the first one was just straight stitching, and I don't know. I mean, I don't think it would be worth the trouble, go to all that trouble just to get that look. And then the next one, it was like skipping stitches and behaving weird. But then once I put it on a zigzag stitch and increase the stitch length and the stitch, what is it on there? It's the stitch length and
That
the
looks
size.
like a blanket stitch, Andrea.
Yeah, but it's a zigzag just maxed out.
Ah,
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then I did try adjusting the top tension. It didn't like that at all. So the top tension on
close it.
mine is set at 5. And I hand wound the bobbin with that embroidery floss and got what looks like the blanket stitch. That was the result there. Then this next line here, the thread actually was stuck under there. It's just that's by accident. It shouldn't look like that. And that was the bobbin, no, what do they call this stuff? Button craft thread. So that was the next experiment that I was going to try with you guys, because that button craft thread does look pretty fun too with that. And so now I was going to try to get rid of the white thread and put a regular blue in, which this is just embroidery thread. So 100% rayon. So it should be okay going through the needle. But then I was going to put the button craft, which is much thicker, in the bobbin and see if I could get like kind of that hand sewn look with that on this. Is anybody else going to be experimenting today while we do this?
Sometime, but not right now.
Okay.
No, not today. I would
Okay.
suggest also working with it on heavier fabrics, because then those threads will sink in better and not show as much. And a heavier fabric, those heavier threads really look nice on those.
Yeah, I bet they do. But I kind of like that. If I could achieve that hand sewn look across the top, would be cool. Because I was considering getting one of those, what do you call that machine? Soko or whatever. What's that one that all it does is this hand?
Dachiko.
Yeah. So this would be way cheaper. Yeah. And it puts this machine to use. Because ever since I got the Juki, I don't even pay any attention to my Janome. So I'm just going to hand wind the bobbin, and I haven't been putting very much in it because I don't want a long-term commitment right now with this thread.
but Andrea, even that straight stitching, you think like, it's not giving you a zazz like that. But when you are doing the top stitching somewhere as a decorating or something,
yeah,
the lengthy straight stitch with this bulky thread still gives a design element.
Okay, well, we'll try it. We'll see what it looks like with this one and see what happens. Yeah. I'll move the computer over so you guys can see as it goes across. Does anybody have any recommendation on the tension for the machine? Like, were you regularly adjusting your tension on yours when you would do this? Or did you just see what your result was?
I only did the lengthen the stitching. Other than that, I did not make any changes on my machine.
To the tension?
Yeah.
It's one of those projects where you have an idea of your head of what you might want it to look like, but what your machine will do is what your machine will do. So then you have to kind of work backwards and adjust your designs and your stitching to match what you're able to get from what you've chosen.
That's cool, because I did not think I was going to end up with something that looked like this, which I think would be beautiful on the bottom of some of our t-shirts and things that we make that are just kind of, or around the neckline. It could be really pretty to do that. So if you do work with the embroidery floss, it was a little tricky to get the bobbin to pull it up. You have to, I just kept turning the hand wheel. You don't want to make a bird's nest under there. But then as soon as I thought that it was caught, then I kind of helped it along. But it's just too thick for you to try to get it up there by yourself. But this button craft thread goes in pretty nice and will feed itself up through there. So I have a little bit in the bobbin. Getting rid of my preferred color. And normally my machine doesn't like the embroidery thread to sew with, but another thing I'm doing with this is I have it set on turtle slow. So if you have a speed adjustment, and that seems to be helping it, but it definitely sounds different than what I'm used to the machine sounding like. Did you find that too, Dara, that it's just
Oh,
different?
definitely. You can hear, because all those sounds that you hear are so related to your tension. So you can definitely hear a difference.
Okay.
Well, and then your needles are going to make a difference too. I assume you're using something with a big eye if you're.
It's one of those purple tips. Does that have a big eye?
I don't know. I
looks-
don't remember.
It
I don't
looks
buy the.
big.
Okay.
I mean, I can see it, so that's saying something. Okay, so right now I still have it set on the zigzag, so we'll see. Can you guys see? Yeah, and then hopefully you'll be able to hear too what it sounds
Are
like.
you on the front of your fabric or the back of your fabric?
Yeah, gosh, that's the hard part. I kept having to remind myself that. It's so weird to do it wrong. Okay. So this is still the big zigzag. Oh, and that looks really nice. With the same color thread. Whoops, I'll get it back for you, Joanne. Hang on. So that's the front. To me, it's looks a lot like hand sewing. So much faster though. This would be fun on the quilts too, Usha.
What is the stitch length, Andrea?
So 4.5 is the setting with the dashed lines, and then 7.0 is the other setting. What is it? It's stitch length and what else?
Width.
Width.
Yeah, you've got 7.0 that's a wide zigzag. My regular machine only goes to 5.
Yeah, mine too, only 5.
Yeah.
Okay, let's try just a straight stitch like Usha was talking about and see what that looks like.
I have a question, Andrea. Does the machine you're working on, does it have a separate bobbin case or is it a drop-in?
It's a drop-in bobbin, but I can take out that whole black case if I wanted.
Flip your fabric over.
Oh, thank you.
What would be fun is to do like drawing on the interfacing before it's attached. Like you just draw on it like words or whatever.
And follow it.
And then when you
backwards.
Well, right, you have to be able to flip it over so you're drawing on the wrong side of the interfacing. So when it's down, you're seeing the the flip side, so that when you're doing it, it will come out correct.
And you could totally do that with a Sharpie as long as you let it dry. That's a great idea.
Because you could see through the interfacing.
Yeah.
It's actually like it's actually like free motion. And then, but what you can do is put your design in the copy machine on reverse. So it reverses it.
Oh, smart.
And then just put it to your fabric and sew around the pattern.
That's a really good idea, Jean. Okay, let's see what this looks like. It's stitching very small. Oh yeah, it adjusted itself. Hang on, I'm gonna make that a bigger stitch. And I still don't like it. To me, it's just, I don't know, it doesn't do anything for me.
It might be used in combination with another stitch. Like you would do that and then you would have a decorative one next to it and then on each side, or like if you had multiple stitching, you might use it as one of them.
So
right.
This
seems most like
have a decorative stitch, so I'm going to try that while you share, Jean. Go ahead, and I'm going to try.
I was just it doesn't look that different than if you sewed on the right side of the material and you used, say, a top stitch needle and top stitch thread and the stitch that goes back and forth. It does it twice. You'll end up the same thing. So then it wouldn't even be worth for me to do the bobbin work.
Yeah, but Andrea, I did only the straight stitching. You see it, right?
Oh yeah, that is pretty. But
Where?
what kind of thread were you using?
This is a hand embroidery cotton thread.
Much thicker.
Much thicker, but I used 2 strands of the same thread, bind it to the bobbin, and use the 1 strand on the top.
How'd you do that? Did you just use a bobbin for the top one instead of? You put it on a thread spool?
Yeah, it came on a spool. Actually, it's a hand embroidery thing. It came on a spool. But when I was winding the bobbin, I used 2 spools, wind it like, both together. And that's how my thickness came. And this is cork, so it was like so embedded into
so that's a thicker material, like Joanne's saying. It will sink in there. So I actually like the decorative stitch better on the regular side, which if I were sewing it upright, that would still be good there. And then the last thread that I wanted to try, where did it go? Was this upholstery thread to see if that gives us a different look too. Let me see how much is left. Let me run out the rest of this bobbin real fast.
What would be fun is like metallic threads or ribbon thread.
Ooh.
Things like that. The thicker ones, the more thicker ones. My notes from my workshop that I went to said for drop-in bobbins that don't have a separate bobbin case, let your thread feed straight through up without going through the tension slot.
Yes, that's what I.
Yeah, especially if you have like the thicker ones, you don't want to mess through the tension. You're just going to feed it without going through the tension.
Right. That works really well.
Yeah. So the thicker your thread, the more it would affect it too.
Any other tips in your notes, Joanne?
Let's see.
Got some thick threads from I don't have my class, but like real thick sparkle.
Oh, that's gorgeous.
Got a whole container full of.
Oh, Lynn.
Yeah.
Wow. What do you put that in normally?
Exactly. It's been so long I forgot. I bought Facebook for Bobbin Work.
Oh, wow. Where you just got it at Joanne's?
No, I think I got it at the quilt shop.
Gosh, that's nice.
What is that, razzle dazzle or?
Shimmer thread, $5.50 a spool.
Yeah.
Wow.
Got a whole container full of all this chubby threads.
When some of them that are too heavy for bobbin work, you just have to use like couching or something on top.
Yeah.
Or even just do something. Some of the threads I bought thinking I could do them for bobbin work and I couldn't because they would just shred and cause problems. I will sometimes like take a big tapestry needle and just weave them under some zigzag stitching or something, like a way to, you're kind of shortcutting the whole handwork thing because you're not going through the fabric, you're going under your stitching.
That sounds really easy to do and a great idea.
Several years ago, I ordered a kit called Digi Bobby, and she had her own designs and her own everything in there.
Flip it over, Andrea.
That is how ingrained it is in your head. Thank you.
I was just say I just looked it up on my phone to see if it still was a thing because it was Digi Bobby. It was a whole kit, and her specification was though that you couldn't use her stuff for anything that you were going to sell or anything like that. She was everything was copyright. It really kind of turned me off. But anyway, I looked it up, and it still says Digi Bobby digitized bobbin work. and it says it's out of stock, but there's, if anybody does Instagram, there are Instagram photos and videos, it says still. Apparently the Digi Bobby is, the woman's name is Bobby Sanchez. So I see she's on Facebook and Instagram. I don't do either one of those. But if anybody does, you might be interested in it because she seemed to have it mastered. It was, she had, good recommendations for threads and technique, and had her own designs and that sort of thing. So, oh, here's another one. It says Digi Bobby Fish Foster. So maybe that's her name. I don't know. But Digi Bobby, it was called. It was good.
Thank you so much. So when I increase the stitch length, Usha, that straight stitch, I can see more potential for it. And then I can see like what Dara was saying, how she wove it back and forth. If you did 2 rows of straight stitching, you could create a really fun design with some fabulous thread like Lynn has there, and your needle just go back and forth. There's a lot of potential there. Okay, I'm just going to wind up this upholstery thread and just see what kind of a different, oh wait, or should I try, is this too thick? This is actually is yarn. Do you think it would work?
I think so, because that is the, yeah. No. Joanne is telling, don't put it through the tension.
Yeah.
How will I get it to come up through the needle plate, Joanne, if I don't?
Will come when you hold it and then try to roll the machine hand, it will pick up that.
I'm not entirely positive though I can get the bobbin wound with, because I can't fit it through the hole either though.
Just wind it, don't put it through the hole.
I feel like we're gonna watch Andrea break her machine. I'm so nervous.
Do you?
I'm nervous for your Janome.
Oh, but I mean, I had already fallen out of love with it. I'm happy it has a purpose now because I feel kind of guilty looking at it. Okay, let's just see. What if it's cool? But I don't know. I don't think it's going to come up through the needle plate. Okay, so don't put it through the tension. And you think if I just turn the hand wheel, it's going to come up?
Put the cover on it.
Close it.
Yeah.
It's the tail is still trapped.
That's okay. It's
Pull it. Pull a little bit. Hold the thread. Hold the bobbin.
This one?
Yeah. Yeah.
Nothing is happening.
Will your tweezers get it? Can you feed it through with tweezers?
Not with this one, I don't think, no. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna, it won't go through there. We'll try the upholstery fabric and see. I also have some of that 6-strand thread too that Usha's talking about.
I did it, so I don't know about Janome, but Singer did it without any problem.
Did you put it through the tension, Usha?
I did. I didn't know that we can put it, we can still stitch it without the, putting in the tension. So I did put it to the tension. It did work out. I was trying to find out that particular pouch, which I did it, but I couldn't find it. I'll try to find it and show you in the next session.
Okay.
What kind of machine do you have?
Pardon?
What kind of machine do you have?
Singer Quantum.
Oh, okay. I just wondered if some of the newer machines have more problem with, with that.
How long has this been a thing?
Did Bobbin Work?
Yeah.
Long time.
There have been machines.
Long time.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Someone just figured it out?
Long time. Right. Some of those things I think are almost better couched on the surface with invisible thread, than trying to coax them through the bobbin hole. But I like the idea of more a free form things than straight stitch, because I think you can achieve that on the surface of the material with couching with invisible thread and you don't see it, or one of the feet that has, you can put 5 or 6 threads through and it counts all of them at the same time. Has anybody ever used that?
I haven't, no.
No, because that's a neat foot too, and it makes a nice border. And I've used embroidery thread in that with different color in each hole.
That sounds beautiful. Yeah, it doesn't like this one either, Usha. I would have to loosen that tension for it.
Throw that machine.
Throw it out? No, because it works with the other stuff just fine.
Andrea, you like flowers, so I could see you couching like on an outline of those bigger flowers for a bag or something like that with your quilt back or something, just couching through all of that.
Right.
Yeah, that would be stunning.
Pretty.
And I wonder if it's a bold floral, I'm sure I could see through the print, right?
Yeah, that would be the thing. You would have to be able to see through whatever you're using for your backing. Yeah.
When the trick with a lot of stuff, I mean, for bags, this works great, but for garments, you don't want to put the heavy interfacing to make it work. So
Right.
I wonder if like tear away or wash away might work better for some. Even spray starch might help some things.
Yeah. How about on the denim? Like if it's a jacket or something, like on the cuffs.
You could totally do it on, well, on cuffs, you're already going to have interfacing, so you'd be okay on there.
My notes said, my notes said for stable, like wovens, they suggested totally stable by sulking or iron on tear away. And then for your knits, they suggested soft and sheer fusible mesh. So it depended on what you were doing, I guess, and how thick the thread was.
When I'm one of those people, I don't like embroidery on clothing because I don't like anything rough on the inside. So like any mesh thing, I want to like then put that over it once it's done. I want to like give it another layer of don't be scratchy to me.
Don't be scratchy to me.
Well, if you put it on the hem or something like that, like, you know, or a bag, or if you were using like wool fabric that's going to be lined, like for a jacket, or I can see it, like,
layers,
you know, like the jacket trims and the coat embellishments, and that's what I can see it as.
Yeah.
Okay, this will be our last experiment. Tomorrow we have our meeting with Tina and she's going to talk about modern versus traditional quilting. You can't hear us? Oh,
flip it over.
So that's at 11 Eastern. Do you quilt at all, Jean?
Not anymore. I used to a lot. Any quilting I do now would be on or a jacket for art to wear, or you know, but no, my big quilt days are done.
Yeah. Did you do that first before you did anything else?
Yeah. Yeah. I did that a long time ago, and I guess that tells how old I am. But yeah, I've been sewing for over 50 years. So yeah.
And what do you make? What do you mostly make right now?
Well, it's funny because 2 years ago we moved from our house of 37 years to a condo, and I had to make some major decisions as to what I really like now. And because in there I had everything from handwork to sewing and all kinds of things, and it belonged to all kinds of clubs, you know, including smocking and all that sort of thing. So, but anyway, I finally narrowed it down. What I really like is art to wear and home deck. So,
oh, nice. Art to wear. Yes.
Yeah.
You do thread painting then?
I've done some. Yeah, some. I like to experiment with all of those. I have an embellisher machine too, so I do a little of that. But anyway, yeah, probably have more machines than I should have.
If you make it on a Friday afternoon, bring some of your art to wear to show off. That's when we show off our stuff.
When is that?
It's Fridays 5 Eastern, so it would be 2 for you right now.
2 p.m. Friday. Okay.
It's called.
You have to sign up for that separately.
Yeah, and the only reason that you sign up is to get the Zoom link.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So were you ever able to make it to the Sewing Club homepage, like that blog using that link I sent?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay. So the schedule is in there. So click on live events.
When you sent that to me, I got the whole schedule
Oh, good.
and printed all the classes,
Yay.
and then it wouldn't let me on.
And then it wouldn't.
No. And then this morning I had all the trouble, of course, with password and, email and all that sort of thing, even though I got an email telling me I was signed up for the class and here are all the things. I printed off the whole schedule, all that sort of thing. So there's some major glitch somewhere, and I'm sure eventually it'll get worked out. But in the meantime, it's pretty frustrating, to not be able to get on. I have the same thing with Stitchers Collective too, which I really enjoy. Does anybody else do that one? Stitchers Collective, with Ramona Baird. And that I got on my calendar, got every class through June, and then it came to July and it wouldn't pick them up. I couldn't get on. So I had to work that through. So with every one, I've had a bit of an issue. So, but
I couldn't get on at all. And I finally got myself registered, and then she never let me in.
Well,
So
you have to understand, for the first 20 minutes, for the first 20 minutes yesterday or Tuesday Wednesday when she was doing Stitches Collective, there was no Stitches Collective. She couldn't get on. So you were having trouble because she was having trouble. She wasn't letting you in because she was in thinking she was starting, and then she's like, well, nobody's coming on. So she had to come out and come back in again.
Suzette will remember, she was in the wrong meeting. She was in this meeting and you guys were in Stitchers Collective. And one time early when Element 3 started, Suzette and one other lady were in a meeting all by themselves. And I was in a whole nother meeting.
Yeah. Well, then she couldn't get her PowerPoint to work, remember?
No, it was trouble yesterday. Yeah.
Yeah. But she eventually got it going, and it was a terrific class. And she got, there's lots of good information there.
Yeah. Okay. So it absolutely hates it if you do too thick threads. So that's not allowed.
But that could be because you haven't adjusted the bobbin tension.
Ooh.
And that's why they say buy a separate case, because you want to totally change the tension on your bobbin.
Yeah, you turn that little screw on take your bobbin case out and turn that little screw. But if you're doing it yourself, you have to be very diligent about paying attention to where it was so you can put it back there.
Right, and that's why they say it's better to buy a new bobbin, which I did. I just bought a different bobbin case.
Yeah.
That you can drop back in.
Around with it, not ruin your own. But
yeah, and that's why if I get this one, so it'll do just this. That's all I'll use it for. It's just
But even then, you have to adjust that depending on what thread you're using through there.
Oh, so with each thing you'll make a little tweak.
Yeah, you got to change the tension, right? So
do you want to have a plan at all in mind when you start this stuff, or is it more like what Doris said and you're just going to have to be flexible?
I think you have to be flexible, and you have to in fact, one of the things, Joanne, you probably heard Ramona say yesterday, is that so much depends on the fabric, the needle, the thread type, whatever, and you have to constantly make modifications. And I think that's the same with this, even more so with this, I think, I played around with it with my serger too. Has anybody ever done that sort of stuff with the serger, trying to see how many things you can get through those lower loopers?
No.
I'm amazed how many things, because I took several serging classes as well. And I put everything through that lower looper, and it will groan and complain for a while, but eventually it's like, oh, okay, but through those lower loopers, I've put just about anything through there, all kinds of decorative threads and yarns and whatever. And, just run more slowly. And it came out really good. I also wanted to do around the edge of a napkin, but I wanted to pick up more than one color. So I put 3 threads through the upper looper. And it came out really neat, but I put all 3 threads through that upper looper. So anyway, that, it's similar, I think, to that, making those adjustments.
One of the things that I've finally learned through 50 years of sewing is if you have an idea and you have fabric, you need to cut yourself some little samples and try
Right.
it.
Right.
Because cut out a blouse and you think you're going to do this, you just get so frustrated and wind up damaging your fabric, and then you don't have a usable garment in the end. Like Andrea's got this piece. You need to cut something that big and try a couple of things and see what'll work.
Right.
Same thing on your serger, with your knits, with everything. If you don't have experience with that kind of exact fabric, you need to do that before you waste your time and your expensive supplies and give yourself a frustrating bad experience that doesn't make it. Sewing should always be happy.
Right. Actually, that's one of the things Ramona mentioned yesterday too, is that no matter, always do a sample. And I don't know if any of you do machine embroidery, but they say there are two people that do machine embroidery, those that do a sample and those that wish they did. Because all you have to do is try to put one on a garment and it messes up and there you are, you know? So I don't always do it, but I can certainly see the wisdom of it, you know? And Joanne, didn't you find that Ramona stressed that yesterday? Always do a sample, you know, on the type of thread. You know, I was taking a class from Palmer in Plesh on making tops in Portland, Oregon. And I thought if you make an adjustment to a pattern for our changing body types, okay, that's done. Well, no, that's done for that pattern. So they identified a whole bunch of things with me, forward shoulder, or this or that or whatever. And I make about 8 corrections to make a pattern, but I have to do it on every pattern that I want to do. So some people I have one friend who gave up on that and only does quilting now because that was too hard to make a garment for a changing body. But I still persevere. I like that.
Yeah. So I think it would just be fun, like Dara said, just to create a big sampler thing and see what you like the look of. So far, my favorite is what looks like that blanket stitch. I think I actually really would use that on stuff. So I'm going to try and find.
I was going to say, what you might like to do is to get like an 8x8 or a 10x10 inch square. And so every time you do samples, you always cut the square the same size. You put like rings, the D rings, the O rings, like attach them. So you can just flip through your samples and you'll always have them and they'll always be the same size.
Yeah, you could even make a little note on the back, like that was a stitch length, and get some details with that. I think that's a great idea. So thank you all for experimenting with me. And thank you, Joanne, as always, for all your awesome tips and research that you get done for us. And I'm going to keep on playing with it and try all the different things that I want to try. And I do actually have an old bobbin case because I replaced this because I thought that's what was messing it up. And so I'm going to find that and then tinker with that tension and see what happens. But you can order them off Amazon easy, like those bobbin cases, if you do want to keep doing it.
Aren't they specific to each machine though?
Oh yeah, you buy for your machine, but that's where I got it from. It was just cheaper than going through Janome.
Yeah, you know, Viking has a thing, honestly. And if you upgrade your machine, it often doesn't fit and you have to buy another one. And that kind of twists my knickers. You know, it's very hard because I've upgraded over the several years, you know, several different machines, and they don't always carry forward. I'm curious, where is everybody located?
I'm in Virginia. Suzette?
I'm in Florida.
Dara?
Okay.
I'm in North Carolina having Tropical Storm Elsa right now.
Oh dear. Where in North Carolina?
Near the Raleigh area.
Oh gosh, be safe, Dara. Lynn?
Florida, South Florida.
Oh, Florida.
Joanne?
I'm in Rhode Island.
Usha?
I am in Austin, Texas.
The great state of Texas.
And
Sally?
I'm in Buffalo, New York.
Oh, that's my hometown.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, that's we moved here from Buffalo 37 years ago and still have family there. So it's Buffalo gets a lot of bad press ever since we've been here. I've been moving Buffalo. They have no idea. You know.
And then we have Casey's a regular member and she's in Arizona with you.
Okay.
And Kim is in Indiana. How is Kim? I miss her. Have you all
She was on yesterday for the thing. But we
Okay.
don't get to really talk, so it's not like we.
Okay, well, you get to talk on, for sure, on Monday, Thursday, Fridays.
Andrea, who's the one from Arizona?
Casey. And
And-
she's been sewing for a long time too. She has a lot of expertise with sewing.
And she in Phoenix, do you know?
No.
No.
Where did she say?
Prescott,
Prescott.
Prescott
Prescott.
Valley.
Suzette.
Okay.
Is that
Okay.
far from you? Jean?
Not too far, and there's a terrific quilt store there. So
Good.
I think it's in Prescott Valley though. So yeah.
And
Good.
she's building a brand new house. So at the end of the month, we're going to get a sewing room tour from her.
Oh, yes.
Mhm.
Yeah. That's
And
one
then-
thing. Moving here, my sewing room took a major hit. It's much smaller, but where there's a will, there's a way. I figured out a way to get most everything in here.
Oh, nice. Maybe you can join us for the sewing room tours and show us around your space. No
Yeah.
cleaning is required. Cleaning is optional.
Good, good.
Yeah, totally optional.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we'll say goodbye for today, and then I hope
Oh.
to see you tomorrow. If you can join us 11 Eastern for Tina's class, which should be really great. And then at 5 Eastern for Sew and Tell. And I sewed my shorts. I'm already ahead.
Oh, good.
They turned out great. Okay,
Yeah, Faye
everybody.
was asking me yesterday if we were doing shorts. I told her you were done and she got mad. I can't keep up with Andrea.
I didn't do the mixed media and I thought I was gonna, and I never did. Yeah, but I
Okay.
got,
Not the whole month of July for shorts and pants.
Good.
I
yeah,
have that same pattern, Andrea.
you'll like
Me
it.
too. I have it
Yeah.
too.
Me
It's a
too.
good one.
Good.
And Cheryl is doing that one too.
Oh,
Yeah. So, okay. Well, it was so nice to see you all and I'm glad you got on, Jean.
Yeah, me
And-
too. Thanks.
You bet. And I hope to see some of you tomorrow. Be safe, Dora.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.